You know, all right. I give up. You know, that and the money make it all worthwhile. Happy Tuesday, everyone. So Kamala Harris went for a drink at a New York City bar, taking a slew of bodyguards, including Secret Service, along with her. Why so many agents? Well, there was 1 to protect Kamala and 10 to keep Doug from impregnating the staff. He has a thing for the help. Who doesn't? The suspect accused of plotting to kill fans at Lady Gaga's concert in Rio de Janeiro was an illegal that was just deported from the United States. I know. Upon hearing the news, Senator Van Hollen immediately flew there to personally give him a Brazilian wax. That story's nowhere. Fans spotted a mysterious stain on Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour's dress at the Met Gala. Authorities are currently looking for a suspect matching this description. Good sketch artist. On her podcast, Michelle Obama has bravely come clean about going into therapy. Gotta hand it to her, that takes balls. What? But this may inspire other first ladies to seek help, especially those having to deal with the guilt of murdering so many people. How did that picture get up there? A 7-year-old boy somehow drove his little sister 9 miles to a McDonald's in his mom's SUV. Authorities say it could have been far worse if the mom had been driving.
Because women can't drive.
Thank you. Yeah. That's for our hearing impaired. To celebrate Star Wars Day, J.B. Pritzker tweeted out a picture of himself in a Jedi costume.
Whoa.
Even Jabba the Hutt was like, wow, this dude's fat. True, the picture caused many to wonder if Pritzker had accidentally eaten Yoda. Mattel is blaming tariffs for increasing the price of Barbie dolls and also crushing Ken's dreams of ever having genitals. And finally, a 115-year-old British woman is now the world's oldest living person. Or as Joe Biden likes to call her, jailbait. She's 15, 115. Yesterday, Donald Trump once again saved the country, banning federal funding for gain-of-function research in countries like China. By now, you know what... Oh, okay. I think so. Now, by now, you know what gain-of-function is. It's modifying a virus to make it more infectious. Sounds great, right? Let's empower a virus. It's like giving a guy with syphilis free Viagra and a private jet. It's the same research that took place in the Wuhan lab, which was likely responsible for COVID-19 and championed by this hellacious hobbit. Remember when Fauci insisted he was the science? I'll like him better when he identifies as the incarcerated. But Trump didn't stop there. Yesterday, the NIH closed experimentation labs that ran tests on dogs, labs accused of killing thousands of beagles for decades. Which makes you wonder, how could this even be happening? And why are we just doing something about it now? Whatever the reason, Trump's ending this killing. Of course, because it's Trump, I'm sure the media will object, saying, well, maybe these dogs were racist. But when it comes to the path of common sense, Trump's king of the road. Take the border. He's now offering illegal immigrants $1,000 to deport themselves. I wonder if he's going to pay each one a certain amount of money.
We're going to pay each one a certain amount of money, and we're going to get them a beautiful flight back to where they came from. It's called self-deportation. And by doing that, you know, you're talking about so many millions of people.
Yes, and what better way to get someone to do something than to incentivize them? And incentives work, which is why the Dems hate him. But unlike Tim Walz claiming he has high testosterone, these numbers don't lie. The DHS claims self-deportation would be 70% cheaper for taxpayers. Currently costs over $17,000 to arrest, detain, and deport someone, while it would only cost $4,500 to self-deport. Hell, Joy Behar spends that much a month on ham. making her a cannibal. Makes sense. Plus, taxpayers have been footing the bill for migrants for years. Chicago has paid over $600 million in contracts to house illegals. New York says their number is more than $7 billion. Nationwide, it's estimated taxpayers pay over $150 billion to cover the cost of illegals. That's your money going to free hotel rooms, plane rides, health care, and even freer violent gangs. Hell, if I wanted to pay to take care of dangerous men, I'd bring back my homeless wrestling tournament. And what do we get? Besides gangbangers who complain about room service? Fine. From now on, let's make sure their continental breakfast means on a different continent. Now, all right, I'll take it. Now, will this lead to more deportations of people who are a burden on the system? Well, to see if it would work, we tested it out here at Fox.
Who is it?
Will you leave?
The country?
Yes.
For $1,000?
Yes.
But where's my stuff?
We packed it for you.
All my stuff is in this bag?
Sure.
Sure. Nicaragua, here I come.
If only we knew sooner how easy it was. So Trump knows what he's doing, and he's brought illegal immigration to a halt. Are border crossings at their lowest level ever recorded?
Border crossings are at their lowest level ever recorded. Is the border...
Is that good?
Is the border now secure?
Yeah, it's really secure.
It's
Isn't
absolutely
that good?
secure.
When you say that, doesn't that just sound good? After being abused for years by an incompetent president that allowed people to pour through an open border.
It's like he's talking dirty to her. Yeah. You like it? Border's secure. Oh, it's so secure. Nothing's getting through that border. It's tight. True, the border was shut down quicker than a massage parlor when they see Jerry Nadler coming. But isn't it cute how NBC needs to know if it's now super duper, 100% guaranteed, absolutely secure? Because then if a single migrant crossed the Rio Grande, they'd bitch that that's a gigantic failure. Never mind the Biden years. They never bothered to even look south when the border was as loose as Joe's bowels. And that's loose. Nope, Dems moved in lockstep, claiming the border was secure while millions of illegals poured into the country. As they told us it was no problem at all, just like gain of function. The Biden administration and Fauci funded it across the world, including the Wuhan lab, all while calling the lab leak theory racist. Open borders and gain of function are both dangerous, nation-altering ideas. In retrospect, it seems so obvious. But it took someone with the balls to finally make a change, and he doesn't even compete in women's sports. Let's welcome tonight's guest. His act puts the fun in refund. Actor, writer, comedian Jamie Lissow. This guy saves time by being both the good cop and the bad cop. Fox News contributor Paul Morrow. She's known by one name like Cher, Madonna, and Measles. Host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast, Kennedy. And he needs a pit crew to apply deodorant. New York Times bestselling author, comedian, and former NBA champion terrorist. Jamie, I would give you $1,000 to leave the country, but your ex-wife would just take half.
That's true. I'll do it for $500.
All right. But then that means you only get $250.
That's true. Damn it. As I was watching your monologue, I really was like, that's as much as I make the headline plus airfare.
Yes.
That is not bad. Very excited about gain of function being banned. I feel like we should ban all things that are the beginning of horror movies where the whole world dies.
Yes.
So I feel like that makes a lot of sense.
They have never justified it, the reason for being. They keep saying, oh, this is to predict future viruses by creating them.
Yeah, it's really, really scary. Isn't it crazy how much stuff Trump has done? It's been like, what, 100-something days? Mm-hmm. I compared it to what Biden did in his first 100-something days. You know, in his first 100 days, all he did was find the coffee machine and the bathroom. And unfortunately, not in that order. The dog thing is cool. I'm glad they figured out that dog thing. I do feel bad, though. I did experiment on a dog once. I feel bad. But towards the end of my marriage, I knew my ex-wife didn't like me anymore. She would drop subtle hints, like she'd be like, I don't like you anymore. And I'd wake up in the morning and she'd be like, oh, I made you a cup of coffee. And I'm like, oh, I'm not drinking that. So I'd give the dog a little sip, make sure he was okay.
Yes. And what happened?
Then I would drink it if he was good.
Yeah.
You know? That's not a bad experiment.
No, it's not at all. All right, well, that was a sad and tragic tale. Paul, I don't know why I pursued that line of questioning with him.
None of us do.
What are you most interested in? The dog stuff, the pandemic stuff? You have like your fingers in everything. You dealt with illegal immigration as a cop for many years.
You know, the pandemic thing interests me because this is where we're going to hear from all the science people. You got to believe the science. It's all about the science, right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the ostensible purpose of these labs was to make sure we were ready for a big viral outbreak if one comes. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It happened. Like, that was the whole point of them. There's 3 of them in the entire country. We funded it. And the real question is, seriously, how is it that Fauci is making that decision? How is it that Fauci is the one who said, you know what, we can give tens of millions of dollars to our primary global adversary, China? Who decided that that was a good idea? Of course it was going to come back and bite us in the ass. And yet, as a result, what? There's no investigation. He's got a pension for life. He makes an ungodly amount of money. I don't know how he managed
$800,000. He's the highest paid person in government.
How did he manage that? So it seems to me like that's one that you talk about Doge, $800,000 to give the Chinese a bioweapon?
Yeah, there needs to be a commission on the Biden cover-up and a commission on COVID. If they did Jan 6, which was a one-day tantrum, this killed 1 million people. You're familiar with viral outbreaks, Kennedy?
That's right, Greg. I'm covered in microbes.
Yes.
Thank God this studio isn't lit with black light.
Yes.
Anthony Fauci is a horrible person, and he was never pressed on this enough.
Yeah.
And there was an organization called the White Coat Waste Project.
Yeah.
And they were the ones who uncovered that there were thousands of dogs that were being given pneumonia. They were injected with pneumonia until they bled to death. And then they would do experiments on these dogs, and we had known about it forever, and no one really pressed Fauci on it.
Right.
They just took him at his word when he was like, oh, I'm the science. These dogs were asking for it. First of all, beagles are very Aryan, all right? And they're disgusting. Wear a mask. Just a horrible, vile person. And then the mental illness and suicides that followed from the pandemic because he shut down the world. I mean, it is so immoral and authoritarian. And I hope to God that history is unkind to him. I know that he's been pardoned by Biden, but I was talking to a member of Congress that said that now, when he goes before Congress because he has been pardoned, he no longer gets to plead the fifth.
Exactly.
So he has to answer questions.
Yes.
So his ass should be dragged before the House and Senate every damn day to answer for the beagles and the lockdowns and school closures and church closures and all the rest of it.
And I mean, we don't even have time. We don't even have time to look at his role in AIDS. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going back there.
Okay, if they gave beagles pneumonia, maybe they should have given Anthony some of the things that he was testing on people.
Yes. All right, Tyrus.
It's funny to me that the party that's so worried about pronouns and what name you're called is okay with making bioweapons.
Yeah.
It just seems strange to me that you're sticks and stones. That's not a problem. It's names that they're worried about. And you always go, what was in it for him to be okay to partner up with China, a place that was notorious for nasty, disgusting labs, untrained people, but yet they put all kinds of money into it to build it up and make it airtight, even though that that was something that was never supposed to be happening. So it always goes back to the same thing. Who profits from it? His $800,000, I'm sure most of that was probably donated and paid taxes on the time, because what he was making on the under is what we need to be thinking about. He didn't make $800,000 to basically have a partnership with a foreign adversary that is known for giving. I mean, they were giving dumbass Hunter Biden diamonds.
Yeah.
What do you think they were giving him for helping them making bioweapons? It's not gain of fun. It's bioweapons. It's worse than mustard gas. And that was something that America was supposed to, and the world was supposed to be an agreement. Like, we don't do that. You know, we don't use those type of things. And if you did, you were worse than Hitler. But yet here we are making stuff worse than what Hitler had. And it was, and all the American people weren't, we were all, oh, no one knew. And then when it broke out, it was like, oh, you can't ask questions, which again, you have to, the last 4 years, it was their time to shine in terms of fleecing this country and doing what they want to do. And all the old guard is making money. I think it's funny now that all of them are getting out. All these old senators are suddenly retiring. Fauci doesn't want to work anymore. They're getting these blanket pardons. The Biden family's pardoned until like, what, 1812 or something like that? So like, it's just, we have to stop using these polite words because they never used it with us.
Yeah.
You know, I was a sellout. You're Hitler. You're
And think of the bad words they used on me.
Yeah, you know, and they continue to do that. And then we say things like gain of function, and the average person's like, well, I guess it's not. No, bioweapons at the expense of the American people. And a lot of people don't have grandparents today because of that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.